welcome to the channel, Teresa Rene. This is the first time, let me start, first of all, say Happy New Year, Happy New Year. This is the first video I've made of this year, and this is the first video that I've made in a long time. It's been a long time. I'm looking up because I saw something, but Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I didn't get to say Merry Christmas. Girl, let me tell you. I have some hauls I want to do, but I want to do this video first because I really want to talk to you about a little bit of what happened to me, what I went through, because some of you may be going through it. And to be honest, it has been such of a time that more of us are probably going through it than we realize, like really. So for me, you know, if you were with me at all last year, then you know my son passed last April the 13th. And so I went through that whole process, you know. My husband had a stroke in May. So my son passed April 13th. His funeral was like April 20th, I believe. My husband had a stroke in May. Or was it? Yeah, in May. And life got crazy real fast because my husband is a licensed general contractor. So he builds homes. However, he does not physically build the homes. He coordinates subcontractors, you know, get everything together. So he was in the process of building a lot of houses, and he had a stroke. His short-term memory was wacky. Like, he could not remember so much stuff. It was crazy. He could not drive. His vision was impaired, so I had to drive him around for like a good while. His vision was impaired. His like I said, his memory. So I'm having to remind him to do so much stuff. He has so many doctor's appointments. So it was just unbelievable that for like a whole month, just about. It was crazy, okay? And I, at the time, became numb, completely numb. Like, I couldn't feel anything. And I was talking to my good friend, my godmom, you know who you are, and she was like, well, maybe your body has shut down to protect itself, you know, like to protect you. A little part of me was afraid that my husband wouldn't recuperate from the stroke, but I still had to remain prayerful, hopeful, and I still had to, you know, put my faith into practice. So that whole ordeal was just like, it was an ordeal, okay? And my doctor, I already couldn't sleep at night and stuff, so he had gave me some trazodone to sleep because I had tried everything, and it had gotten so bad, like after my son passed, I was actually depending on NyQuil to sleep because I could not sleep. And I wake up early in the morning, but I take NyQuil, and I was taking NyQuil every single night. I had to take it to go to sleep. And so after my husband had a stroke, I was numb, but I was like, it's so weird because I thought I was so strong and so holding it together, and I was doing it so well, but I was masking. I wore such of a mask. And after all that we got through all of that, and you know, we went to redoing the house. I did so much in this house. I did most of it, like moving stuff around and redecorating. So I did all that. It was crazy, right? So we redid the whole house basically, except for one room. And I threw everything I had into it, decorating everything, you know, and just getting everything together. I was working sun up to 11, 12 o'clock, 12 in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, sometimes beyond. doing everything so much, just doing so much, doing so much. So some months go by, because that takes me months, okay? Months to do this. So I'm shopping and I'm doing all this, redoing everything, buying all these decorations, which I needed them because I was redoing my house. Picking out paint and, doing flooring and light fixtures and just everything. Countertops, just busy. Go through that. Then I did that all the way through. I was like rushing to get everything done so I could be done before Thanksgiving. So then November comes and in October, November, and then I'm off to shopping for the holidays, the decorations for the holidays, and I'm throwing everything I got into it. I'm busy, I'm decorating, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm zooming along, and everything is good, and I'm doing really well, and yes, I cry. I have my moments that I cry, but they're really not that bad because I can pull myself together. Sometimes I'm like, I don't have time for this today. I got stuff to do. I cannot get sad today. I cannot cry today. And so when those feelings would surface, I would push them back down because I had to get through the day. I had to get through the week. It was a goal and a focus and, of things that I had to get done. Decorate, everything go well. December comes. Everything is done. I'm happy. I've decorated. I threw myself into buying so many gifts. I'm shopping, blah, 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 getting ready for Christmas. And y'all, honest to God, girl, December comes. And it's like a rug was just snatched out from up under my feet. And when I landed, I didn't know if I was going to get back up. And that's the God honest truth. Because it took me so long to realize where I was. And guess what? I was depressed. Like, you would not even believe. Like, where I could not get out the bed. I didn't want to take a bath. And I'm just being real. Like, I didn't want to brush my teeth. I didn't want to take a bath. It was a chore. I had to force myself to do all these things. Even when I had done the videos and I had bought all the lounge wear, and the thing is, immediately after that, of course, I was using all those bath items and doing all this stuff, but I crashed. In December, I crashed. And when I crashed, picking myself up was the hardest thing of my life. It was because I realized and I recognized throughout the process, throughout the whole thing, I basically had not really mourned my son's passing. And I still haven't. I'm still, in that process because I did not. When my husband had a stroke, well, no, let me start back. I had to be the strong one. I was so strong, and I had to pull it together so fast and just let everybody see together how fast I could pull it together and I could bounce back, and I trust in God. And yes, I did trust in God, but y'all, like, girl, let me tell you something. For the first time probably ever, my faith was, by the time December came, and I had all of this throughout the whole, my faith and God gonna get me through, but I didn't want to read my Bible. I didn't want to feel, and I was not angry with God because I was still, talking to God sometimes. But I was in a bad spot. I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to take a bath. I didn't want to brush my teeth. I didn't want to do my hair. I didn't care. Like, it's not that I didn't care. I cared, but I did not have the wherewithal, the energy to pull it together. Like, so some days I didn't get out the bed. Some days I got out the bed long enough to fix me something to eat and got right back in the bed. I was taking a bath sometimes maybe 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock in the morning. just, washing up so I wouldn't stink. I mean, I'm just being honest because that's where I found myself. Like, my hair was dry as crap because I could not pull it together. But when I talk to people, it's like I was masking so much. I didn't even realize what I was doing. I didn't realize that I was just going through the motions. Like, I was going through the motions. But when I talked to first of all, my husband when I talk to my kids, my kids are grown. Yes, all my kids are grown. My son that died was 29. My oldest son is 35 now. My daughter is 31 now. And my younger son is 26. But when I talked to them, I had to be so strong because I could not let them see me cry, hear me cry. I could not. I couldn't. As the mother, it was my job to hold it together for them. I had to hold it together in their presence. I had to just hold it together because I had to hold it together for them. I couldn't fall apart. I couldn't. Then my husband wasn't in the frame. Now that looking back, he was not in the frame of mind to even realize what I was going through, to be honest, because his mind was and then he was a little off in a lot of ways. He wasn't back to normal. And so a lot of people, I feel like, felt like I was, and I'm not even going to say over it, but they felt like I was so strong that, hey, she's okay, she's good, and me thinking, okay, yeah, I'm good, I gotta hold it together, I'm good. December was just, and it wasn't to the end of December. After Christmas Day, December was like a blur to me. The holidays 2020 was like a blur to me. And it's crazy because in my mind, girl, yes, I was like, yeah, I gotta make sure everything is all happy and I can't afford to be down. That was my mindset. And that was really what I worked so hard to put together. And the house was gorgeous. It was lovely. I outdid myself, okay? But girl, it came crashing down on me. Mentally, I was in a bad state. Physically and emotionally, I was just a mess. And it didn't even dawn on me until probably after Christmas that I really realized what had happened to me. Like, depression had set in so bad. And I'm not even going to say so quick because I think I probably was already there. And I did not deal with the passing of my son. And to the fact that I suppressed everything that I was going through, everything that I was feeling, because I had to get through the day. I had to do it, but it ended up backfiring on me and it put me down. Like, it really, really put me down. So fast forward to January. I had to tell you all this to get to my focus for the year and then to get to the hauls that I'm going to be showing you, along the way. So I'm one of those people that it's crazy because it should have been my profession, honestly. I can know when I am in a place and I can pull myself up. I can pull myself up. But I had never experienced. I lost my grandma, and girl, from rocking with me so many years, my grandmother was my everything. My everything. When I lost my grandma, my whole world shut down. Like, I was lost. And I was lost in the sense of, oh my God, I felt like somebody would feel as if your mother passed, because my grandmother was the closest thing to my mother ever, because she nurtured me. That was just losing my son. And even now, I'm doing better, but I'm dealing with it. And because my husband, I was so upset and angry with him because I'm like, you don't even ask me how I'm doing. You're not even concerned. You're not even this. And I had started lashing out at him in December because I was like, I cannot believe that you, and I was so angry with him because I'm like, I have nobody to talk to. I have nobody to express how I feel. I don't even really talk. I'm talking to myself. I am, because believe it or not, you can't always talk to the people that are the closest to you, because sometimes, like, you feel like you have to be strong enough for them. Then I'm having to deal with my son's children and the baby mamas and the drama and the, it was just so much. It was just so much. And I at some point, I one day I hope to be able to really go into detail about some things, because I do think that it will help somebody else. I'm just not there yet. I'm not. And so I'm so angry with him, but then I realized, like, he's probably going through too. Like, and when I began to, like, lash out at him and be so upset with him, his thing was, and he said, well, Rene, I didn't know what space you were in. I didn't want to mention him and say the wrong thing and you cry or take you to a bad place. So he was trying to protect me by not talking about him. And I felt like he act like as if he didn't exist, or, basically. And so he was like, no, I'm trying to protect you, because I don't want to put you in a place if you're not there. If you're in a happy place, I want to keep you in a happy place. And the crazy thing was I stayed in a happy place, or so I thought and portrayed. I did so many videos that I did not even upload because they were really good videos, but I didn't have the energy. Like, I have, it's crazy. It's crazy how you can really think you're fine and you not be fine when you're really a mess. And having to put up that face, because I am naturally a strong person. I'm really honest to God. And for me, I just always felt like I had to maintain that image of being so strong, that because I've always had to be the one to get everybody through. I'm the happy one. I'm the one that if you having a bad day, I can brighten your day. I can, and so I felt, looking back, that I can't. I knew so many women that had lost sons and even daughters last year, my son's age. And so even on social media, I had to be the one that wanted to encourage everybody else. And of course, yes, it encouraged me, when I encourage other people, but I still was masking, and I was not dealing with the hurt and the pain and the disappointment. And, because I'm just like, God, how? I don't understand. Why me? Because everybody didn't go through those, why me? Why me? And it could be, why me? Like, why my son? Why my son? And honestly, I never want anybody to feel that hurt and the pain that I feel and I've had to deal with. But at the same time, I'm like, why my son? Everybody, you go through that. I'm not perfect, but God, I'm a good person. I treat people good. I'm this, I'm that. Really, just why my son? Why? But then you gotta think back, about. I'm gonna go into that later, and maybe I'm gonna say this. In your praying for yourself, praying for others, you ask God to fix things. You ask Him to work it out, to protect, to do so much. And sometimes, how we think things are gonna go and how things are gonna be it ends up being the opposite. And I had to remember that when we ask God to work things out, we don't know how He's going to work it out. We don't know what is going to happen. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. So I myself had to get into a place that I could spend time with God and ask these questions. And my godmom, she was like, it's okay to ask questions. Because, I never wanted to question God. I never wanted to feel like, to God, when it comes to God, I never wanted to be like that. I wanted to be a person that, okay, I can accept whatever come my way, know that God's going to help me get through it. Yes, I know all those things, but I never wanted to be the kind of person that basically questioned God, like, okay, I just deal with it. But this time, I don't know why I did my makeup today because I should have known. But this time, I just really wanted to be like, and I really was like, God, I don't understand. Like, I don't. And in my, like searching for answers and God, I don't understand, and why. Just why? I don't understand why. God revealed so many things to me in those questions, and it's crazy because some answers came immediately, and then some I would be sitting, whatever, and they would simply come to me, answers to the questions that I had. Because when you're a believer and things are going to happen to you, but at the same time, some outcomes are just not what you thought they would be. Like, you just like, and the honest truth is, I love all my children dearly with all my heart, but this one and I think because he required so much of my attention and my time that I just could not understand, like, how this could happen. God, I'm confused, like. So I'm still working, and which propelled me to 2021. My theme is healing. And I need to heal from so much, like the trauma, seriously, of losing my son. It was so traumatic. And it's even more traumatic because he had 7 kids. And I've got to get to the point where I can even deal with his kids and be okay, that I can. It's almost like I have so much hurt and pain to deal with so that I can help others heal, or that and that's just my thought behind it. So I have decided this year to get into therapy for the first time ever. I'm doing things right now to bring myself, because I can bring myself out. I can bring myself out with God. Because I'm not one of those people that I dwell and things get me down, I stay stuck, and I can bounce back. But I didn't realize where I was. But now that I realize where I was, I'm working so hard to come out of where I was. And so it is important to, and my husband and I, now we have a better understanding. So now, and I can talk about him. I can cry. I can do the things that I needed to do. And it's so crazy because it's just been the last few weeks that I realized all this stuff, y'all. And I'm talking like last couple of weeks that I even realized where I was and why I couldn't get out the bed and why the enemy is so busy. So I have another son, my younger son caught COVID. My sister caught COVID. My mother caught COVID. My first cousin's daughter caught COVID. And it was not from any of the family functions. It was work. My mom made that food bank at church or a funeral she went to or something. But they caught COVID. And you might think this is crazy, but even when they caught COVID, and I think a part of me sometimes, because I know God is going to fix it, so I can't allow myself to get in that mode or, just get to worrying and get stressed out for the most part. Not, it's weird, but so I had to, I was starting, and it's so weird because they all called it like within the same, well, my little cousin, she had called it first. She called it from work. My sister called it from work. My sister she works in the ICU at the hospital, and a nurse there called it. So my sister and the other nurses, because they were all in the break room eating at the same time, and like 3 or 4 nurses caught COVID from this one nurse. My mom called it. She gave it to my son. Oh, and my niece has COVID, which got it from my mom, because my mom didn't know she had COVID. My mom's friend has COVID. So my mom was, this is crazy. She was the person that, nah, child, don't come around me with that. You might have COVID, whatever. She ended up spreading COVID. So and that's this year. This in the last couple weeks. So my sister's time is up. My cousin's time is up. But my son and my mom, their time is up next week. So of course Brian kept calling, Mom, you need to go get a COVID test. So I'm standing there, I went and got a COVID test, even though I knew I didn't have COVID. And it's so funny because I'm sitting at the CVS. And I'm just sitting there like, why am I in this line? I know I don't have COVID. But Brian was so after me. Brian's my oldest son. I was like, Mom, go get a test. You need to go get a test. You need to go. And I'm like, but I haven't even been around them. And I let him talk me into go getting a test. And I knew I didn't need a test. But anyway, thank God it was negative. But girl, so I just want to give you a backstory about, because I feel like last year was so crazy that this year, we all need to be focused on healing. And I pray that everybody has a much better and improved year than last year. And that we can begin to heal and get it together. So I have so many things. And the thing is that, yes, I do this. This is what I do. But you know what? I can bring myself out of where I am, because first of all, God is my healer. Okay, somebody. God is my healer, and some things might seem extreme. Oh, and I want to show y'all what I got for Christmas too. I've been in such of a spot, girl. I was like, you know what? I have not even touched my Christmas stuff, because like the things I ordered for myself and the things my husband ordered for me, I hadn't even touched that stuff basically, and I'm looking because a lot of it's sitting right here in this spot. And Christmas, it was just odd. It was nice. We had a really good time. We had a really good time Thanksgiving too. We had a good time Christmas. But I had to hold it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to just hold it together. And that's what I've been doing, is holding it together, girl. And yes, we do have to hold it together, but we have to allow ourselves to cry. We have to allow ourselves to feel. We have to remember that those things are things that we need to do. And if you don't do it, if you do not cry, if you do not talk, if you do not do those things, you will end up in a bad place. You cannot suppress but for so long. It only works for so long. It only works for so long. And, I always talk to y'all about putting myself together, putting yourself together, and doing what's best for you and getting yourself together. So, girl, I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? I do. And so I have a lot of stuff to show you. I hope that my energy level will stay up to the point. Because I've been taking my vitamins and stuff, but depression. Depression had me so down that I couldn't pull it together. Like, I couldn't. But I have so many things that I want to do. I want to do. Will I get to do them? Well, I don't know. I plan to work really, really hard to strive to do these things. But at the same time, who knows? It's my plan to pull myself up, girl. So I'm going to show you in some other videos. I just want to tell you what's to come. Some videos about me, some books and things that I'm utilizing to assist me to get there. For my mental, physical, spiritual, I'm working on all of that. Physical, my looks and my appearance, and I'm fresh. Okay? I'm fresh. Yeah, I'm fresh. No, I'm serious. Girl, I just believe in keeping it real and being real because, hey, faking it only gets you so far, honey. Trust me, it does. But anyway, I'm going to end this video because it is really long, but I just want to encourage you. That's what I do. I'm an encourager, right? I encourage you, then I feel encouraged, and maybe I can get myself together and, all that good stuff. But I do want to encourage you to take this year, make your theme about healing. Even if you didn't lose someone, it has been stressful. It has been such of a stressful year of the mask, everything that's going on in the news, everything. And I want to encourage you too. So my channel, I don't know, girl, my channel be everywhere. I do vlogs, I do some of everything, but mental health, physical health, spiritual health, do those things. Take the time to do those things, to pull yourself together, to get you to another place, to propel you to places that you need to be. And that's my goal this year, is healing. I need a healing all over. I need a healing. So sometimes maybe I will share some things with you. That's my plan and my hopes that I will. And I need some of y'all vlogging. Let me drop your channel below. I will say product reviews and stuff is fine. That's fine. But I have just really gotten away from heavily commercial videos. Heavily commercial videos, I guess that's how I should say it. So I'm not really interested in somebody selling a whole bunch of stuff. Product reviews are fine, girl. Yeah, we need to, know what's the deets on this or that. But miss me with all them heavily commercialized videos. I'm just not into those. I'm looking for vlogs and, women that's keeping it real with you, themselves, with everybody. Yeah, just keep it real. Because it's not always peaches and cream. Who texting me? Anyway, girl, I will be back with another video shortly. I don't know when I'll upload it. My plan is to upload regularly, but you know how that goes. So check back occasionally. Check back with your girl. And come on back in and, get your little drinks and, whatever. Sit down, chit chat with your girl. And I'm trying to get back to the point where I really get to comments. So I have not answered comments in a while. If you have left me comments, I am so sorry. I just did not have the energy to do anything. Them last 2 videos I put up with the decorations, it took everything I had in me to get those together. I have so many videos that I really need to edit and drop. So you might see some videos, you'd be like, okay. Well, that was, it might be last on, but they're good videos, because they are. Anyway, I will holler back at you in the next video. If you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscription button. Hang out with your girl. Leave me a comment. Hopefully, I can get better at answering them. And I will holler back at you in the next video. Bye, girl.